All right, folks. We are going to get started. Hopefully, our speaker arrives in time. I don't want to keep everybody waiting. So, we are recording this session, just so you know. The camera should be just mainly trained on me and the screen. But if you do have a question and you want it to be included, we'll just have a microphone for you as we get going. For those of you that I haven't met, I do see some familiar faces, which is great, and a bunch of new faces, which is also great. My name is Neil Johnston. I serve as the Director of Accelerator Programs here at the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Institute. What that means is that I spend the majority of my time working on all of our outside of the classroom initiatives. So not anything really associated with our major, our minor, our certificate, our master's program. All those things are awesome and wonderful. Love to support those. But I work with our 100+ mentors that are willing to assist Temple students, faculty, staff, and alums, help with these pitch competitions, which we'll talk about in a second, all of our other events. So that's really what I do. If you've got any questions about any of that, please ask. I'm also, of course, happy to answer questions about this brand new initiative. Raise your hand if you have submitted to a pitch competition through our department before. Nobody? You all first time entrants. That's awesome. Wonderful. So I don't need to give any of the history because this is a brand new pitch competition. We are trying something brand new this year, which we are really excited about. So the Ideas and Impacts Challenge has two different focus areas. So submitters, when you make your submission, you do have to choose between one or the other. You cannot submit to both. So the two focus areas are the innovative idea focus. While these can be or probably should be profit generating, revenue generating, all of those ideas, that should be kind of a core component of it. It can have some other aspects of it, right? You can, if you want to donate a portion of your idea to charity, if you want to have a bit of a social impact focus. The real focus of any idea, any submission that goes along this focus area is primary goal is to generate profit and financial return. So that can be an actual product, it can be an app, it can be a service, it can be whatever you want it to be. The second focus that we have that you can choose is the social impact focus. Anything that is not for profit, if you have an idea around that, this is the focus area that you should submit. These are not exclusively not for profit. If you do have a for-profit idea, but it falls in the realm of social entrepreneurship, this is also the focus area for you. What is social entrepreneurship? Something that uses innovation or entrepreneurship to solve something like homelessness, food insecurity, education inequality, anything kind of for the greater good. Again, profit can maybe be a part of it, but the core, the real mission of a submission that falls under this focus area is thinking about social impact. Does everyone kind of understand the difference between the two submission focus areas? Any questions about any of those before I move on? Okay. So why enter? You can see up here, there are lots of great reasons to enter. We have a lot of awesome opportunities. You are at the first of our 4 entrepreneurship-based workshop. We also have a featured event coming up next Monday that we'll see a slide for in a little bit. Each submission is eligible for the focus area's grand prize of $2,500. Not, life-changing money for the most part, but not insignificant as well. You will get some expert mentoring in kind of those last few days if you've got any questions. And then every submission, whether you are named a finalist or not, gets the opportunity to get their submission reviewed by anywhere between 4 and 7 experts in a variety of field areas that are really going to offer you great feedback. We are also at your disposal after everything has wrapped up to kind of go over your submission if there are areas you want to improve, if there's feedback we have. But it's really just a great way for you to kind of get some experience in submitting to a pitch competition. Finalists are invited to pitch live here on November 14th. So we will go over that in a little bit. But this is why we think it's really important to enter. Who is eligible to enter? So this competition is open to students, faculty, staff, and alums. from all 17 schools and colleges at Temple. The one caveat is for students, they need to be degree-seeking students. We encourage you to have team members. And so if you are not a Temple student or you don't fall into any of these categories, but you know someone that is, they can submit and you can be a part of their team. Submitters can only be a part of one team. So again, you need to kind of pick your submission. Some requirements as of September 1st of this year, less than $5,000 in funding from other competitions or other capital investment. If you are, again, a revenue generating, you need to have made less than $25,000. And it needs to be less than 2 years old. So in the spring, we will launch, and I'm happy to talk more about this, the Be Your Own Boss Bowl. That is for those more established, maybe already generating a good amount of revenue, maybe working on this for a few years. But this is really for kind of those entry-level, idea-level submissions that we are looking for. And like I said, finalists will be pitching their event live or their idea live to a panel of judges. Heather, if you wouldn't mind just emailing me your presentation and I can pull it up, that'd be awesome. Thanks. So in total, this is not available to everyone, but our kind of grand prize package is $10,000. You can see how everything breaks down. And I would just double this, right? So this is for the innovative idea focus, and then it is also for the social impact focus. So this is kind of how everything breaks down. Within each of those focus areas, we also break it down into tracks. This gets confusing, so bear with me. So within the innovative idea focus, there is an upper track that is for graduate students, faculty, staff, and alum, and an undergraduate track, which is for undergraduate students. Same for the social impact focus. We also have some special awards, the People's Choice Award, which is a crowd favorite. And then our partners over at IBIT have the Digital Innovation Award, which is for $1,000. And again, there's more information in the submission portal about that. Sorry, let me go back. Any questions about any of this? Okay, cool. So this is how we rate submissions. There are things like an elevator pitch, talking about the opportunity or the problem. What does the competition landscape look like? What is your solution? And then customer and user stakeholder impact and plans for addressing the unknown. What are some challenges that come up? If you can kind of put on your futuristic thinking hat, if you have looked at our upcoming workshops, you will see that they kind of map on to all of these things. And so we are recording this session tonight. It will be up on our YouTube page probably tomorrow, as will all of our other workshops. And so we would love for you to attend in person. We've got great speakers lined up. There's good dialogue to be had. But if you can't attend and you are brand new to this, hopefully watching these sessions back will be helpful for you in terms of addressing all of these points that we talk about. We want to set you up for success. We know that not everybody has done something like this before. And so the hope is after attending these workshops or viewing the video, you've got a better sense of what would make a stronger submission. So some key dates, like I said, the portal is open now. On Monday, October 27th at 11:59 p.m. is the submission deadline. The Friday before that, so the 24th and the 27th, the day of, we will have some expert mentoring available. Again, those are some folks that have raised their hand generously and said, yes, I would like to help folks with their kind of last minute submission. So, hey, I'm stuck on this one question, or I really don't know how to word this part strongly. I'm kind of going back and forth between those. Those are great questions to show up with. Not great questions to show up with are, I haven't started this. What idea do you think I should pursue? We're a little late in the game for that. Think about for the BYOBB. But so we do want to, again, offer that opportunity for folks to be here or to kind of offer that feedback as we approach the deadline. And then Friday, November 14th, we are having our live pitch competition all day long. We will do one of the focuses in the morning, a break for lunch that is provided, probably with a speaker and some networking time in the middle, and then the second focus area in the afternoon. Again, panels of live judges, audience participation, questions, all that great stuff, and awards handed out at the end. So we think that it's going to be a really great day. Even if you are not named a finalist, we would encourage you to attend and be here with us. Here you can see the workshops that are happening every Wednesday from now until October 22nd in the accelerator. I'm not going to go over those. They are on the page, or the submission page. But again, they kind of map onto the different things that we are scoring folks on in our submission rubric. I did want to highlight our kind of featured speaker. So social impact is obvious, or social impact is obviously one of these the focus areas that we have. We are very lucky and privileged here at Temple that Professor David Brown is a colleague of ours, and he has agreed to speak on one of his not just research topics, but something that he is passionate about. He is an ordained minister, and he uses this in part of his ministry. And so what are the ways that we can build a safer community together, specifically thinking about how to address the issue of gun violence in our communities? And so really great opportunity to attend. We would hope that folks can be here next Monday for a really great dialogue with Professor Brown. I think I'm coming close to the end. This is, again, will take you to the submission portal. One last kind of push that it is due October 27th, 11:59 p.m. If there are any questions, folks can either find me after the fact or email iei@temple.edu. We try and do our best to check that inbox as often as we can and address things quickly. So any questions in the moment before I turn it over to our speaker? Okay, great. I'm going to pause, and through the magic of editing, this actually won't show up on the stream, but again, get Heather set up, and then we'll come back with Heather in just a few minutes, so just sit tight.
Awesome. Hi, guys. How's it going? All of you are interested in having a business that creates good change, positive change in this world? Yeah? Anybody already doing it? Yeah? Okay, cool. What's your name? Mark? Okay, cool. This is Mark, guys. He's doing it. Okay. To the right. Okay. I'm Heather Cotter. I run a social media strategy and management business. Most of my clients are nonprofits, and they have good purposes. And that's really just my dream, to be able to run a business and sustain my life on serving people doing the things that I love or am/addicted to. Social media, I'm addicted. So I erase it probably like 3 times a week and then re-update it. But I know it does a number on my mental health, but I'm still here today. So it's been 5.5 years. I graduated MBA 2016 from Temple University. I'm also on the Alumni Association for the Fox School. And today we're going to be talking about identifying and defining a problem worth solving. Although I do serve social impact organizations, I wouldn't consider what I do social impact. I know I give out free services and I know I host workshops, but I think we're going to get into a little bit of what really defines what a social entrepreneur is and how, what your initiatives, how they're going to differ from my service-based business. Okay, so our goal here is to make an actionable and clear framework for identifying and defining a problem worth solving. So we're at the beginning. Do some of you have problems you know that you want to solve? Yeah, okay. We got some good problems. Okay, if we want to share, sure. I saw some hands, so that's optional. Okay, we are backing away from it. That's cool. And yeah, so really, I want you guys to leave here thinking and knowing about, what is the problem you want to solve and what are the first steps that you can take towards solving that problem and ultimately getting paid for it. So the key characteristics, again, I don't know if you guys went over this. Did you guys have your introduction yet? Is this anyone's first Changemaker workshop? Okay, a few of you. Okay, everybody's new. Okay, cool. So you got to be mission driven. That means that you have a problem to solve and you can make a positive change, right? And that doesn't mean solve one problem and create 3 other problems. That's not what we call a good mission. That could be a mission, but it's not a good one. Innovative solutions. So new approaches, organizations, they develop new approaches, organizations, and ventures. By new approaches, I don't know if you have to be like an inventor with a patented idea. You could just have a method by which you execute that could be special to your organization and could be the key to your organization's sustainability. So I would also and that one over there, innovative solutions. I think that that's a little intimidating when we think innovate, because it doesn't have to be an app. It can be an organization that's just bringing solar power to a certain village somewhere, and it's tackling their issues. But it's a very simple solution, but you found a way to make it happen. Entrepreneurial spirit. So you also have to possess drive, resilience, passion, things that are going to drive you forward when you want to quit. Being an entrepreneur is very, very hard. It's hard. You need support. Oftentimes we do it by ourselves, solopreneurs. I'm one of them. But I do recommend that you get a partner. Honestly, if there's one thing I could change about having a business today, is that I would be able to double myself. And I do have a staff member that's been with me for 3 years, and she would be likely, she lives in Venezuela. She would be the likely candidate because I trust her with everything. But I know that that just doesn't feel like having someone who was there from the beginning. So if you guys can, identify maybe a few people that you can vet to be possibly a co-CEO or a partner with you in your business venture, I would do that. But entrepreneurial spirit, when you don't have anything else, you got to have that, because that's what's going to keep you waking up every day and knowing what to do. And that's how we identify people who have that entrepreneurial spirit, is like, can you wake up and feel like, okay, I still have things to do, right? You can't have any, I mean, obviously we're all human and we're not perfect. And you do wake up not feeling like you want to do anything, and we get depressed, and that's normal. But being able to navigate that and get back on the horse again and again, because you're going to fail a lot. If you're an entrepreneur, you're failing because you're actually trying. And a lot of people don't even try. So that's also another key aspect of being an entrepreneur. Sustainable models. So they aim to create lasting sustainable change through a blend of business and nonprofit principles. So a blend of business could look like we have a back-end system that funnels inquiries to us, and we use that model, or we use that list to promote our business and the good things that we're doing. And the nonprofit piece of that would be, we have good things. We're always talking about heart-led initiatives, or ways that we can help the environment, people, animals, whatever. And so you have to not only be applying, and I'm going to give you guys an example that's related to grant application. But I went to business school here, and I always thought of grants as not being a sustainable way to run my business, because I'm like, okay, well, I have to build a business that I can run. It has to sustain itself, and I can't depend on outside organizations. I mean, I wouldn't agree with that now. I do believe, I haven't gotten any grants. I'm completely bootstrapped, but I do see that founders who apply for grants, they tend to accelerate their businesses much further and faster. Now, what they had to give up or the stipulations around that, that's something that you're just going to have to deal with. So it's really up to what kind of risk profile are you? Are you risk averse? I'm risk averse. I'm a much more conservative. I'd rather borrow bridge loans from family than go to a bank to get my bridge loan, because I'm mistrusting of the banking system somehow. But that's a personal preference, right? And when you're an entrepreneur, it's deeply personal to you and your preferences. And especially if you're a social entrepreneur, you're not only worried about your preferences, you're going to be worried about other stakeholders' preferences, whether that's your grantors, your grantees, the people who are benefiting from your project or the work that you do, or the people who are actually funneling the money to you, and they want to see results, and you have to report to them some kind of way. But sustainable models is, how do I create a stream of revenue and keep it coming, right? I would also, grants is a good way to do that, but I would also say, okay, we provide this service, and a portion of this is what's fueling the labor that's going to create this change that we want to create, or it's fueling. So finding a way to make the money run on its own stream, rather than finding multiple grant resources, because those dry out, as we've seen with our current climate and the attacks on lots of nonprofits. Okay, so impact focused metrics. While some operate as for-profit businesses, They measure success by the depth of their social or environmental return, not just financial profit. So, can someone give me an example for how a company would measure the depth of their success or environmental return? Please. Yeah, I mean that is nice to get client appreciation for sure. Oh, should we do the microphone thing? Okay. Um, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, that does make you, but that's not special. That's not special to social entrepreneurship. That's more so like that just gives you the warms and fuzzies. I love getting that too. This is more so, I'm gonna pull out a very, very stale example. Don't hate me for it. Ted's, what are those shoes? Todd's? Yeah, Todd's, although I hear some like, some tea about them not being the most ethical because they created more waste than they intended to, but they planted trees for every purchase. Or they had a special where they were giving out shoes for every purchase of the shoes. I think that that's the more general one. But, if they were able to, 10% of every purchase from this product drives, the person with your customers may be heart-led just like you. And I keep on saying heart-led because that's what I think of when I think of social entrepreneurship. People who have a drive because they have a passion for something that's deeper than themselves, right? Marketing, I wouldn't say that. Like marketing, I'm feeding into everyone's ego. I'm in marketing, social media marketing specifically. And I'm always trying to convince you of something that I want to convince you of, right? Whereas you guys may develop services and products that are for the social good. So it may feed a child in another country. It may, provide upkeep for a facility. Maybe you're stewarding or you help people steward facilities or something. I don't know. I'm getting in the weeds here, but so what do you do to measure it? What's your idea? I'm just gonna pick on you. I'm sorry. Do you have an idea yet? And it's okay if you say no. No idea of what your social entrepreneurial endeavor would be.
We wanted to create like a daycare service that was tailored to single moms, and like through that also provide various services to the moms and the kids to help like career coaching and other aspects of their lives.
Okay, I love that. So key metrics there for her to prove what her impact is how many people come every day? How many people come every week? How many people come every month? In a year, how many families has she serviced? Maybe she has other programs tied to her initiative, and that creates even more impact. There could be a food bank component of it. Like, you could receive deliveries from local organizations and make sure that it's not just the daycare, but mom can feed the kids, very easily, and you make it easier for them. Or maybe you have 2 extra hours for daycare that are like funded by a public organization, and you can, or maybe not public, maybe it's a private donor, and you can say how many hours of after school were provided to students who needed it the most. So making yourself a beacon of your community and actually creating impactful change, because you're giving the parents time, you're giving them care, you're giving them trust in their community essentially, because I think daycares are a big component of like how well our children do, like who's watching our kids, what kind of enrichment is available. But I'm just going to keep going. I just Googled this key characteristics of social entrepreneurship. Look at that. I matched the background to it. This is, guys, I was so busy this week, and I hope my presentation doesn't show it. I hope you guys like the design and everything. So we just went through that. So what are things in your everyday lives that you and your friends complain about all the time? I want to hear it. I want to hear it from like 3 of you. It's going to be like Maury. Except I'm not Maury, I'm Heather. You guys know who Maury is? Jerry Springer? Guys, who's it? Wendy Williams? Yeah, okay. Okay, what do you guys complain about? I want to hear it. Yeah, you look like you want to complain.
I'll stay on with the topic, cost of daycare.
Cost of daycare. Okay, you have children.
I have children.
You have children. Okay. And okay. So what would it mean to you and your friends, your peer group, all your other friends with children to be able to fix that?
Oh wow, that may mean an extra date night, extra night with the fellas. I
Okay.
mean, it would mean a lot.
So night care
Yeah.
is what I'm hearing here.
Yes.
So you want to be able to provide night care to families? I know you're not going to run with this idea, but this is just part of the exercise.
Okay.
So what would a problem to that solution, or what would a solution to that problem look like?
Kind of a mix of what the sister was saying as far as mobile. I think is what you were saying. Mobile babysitting. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I kind
oh,
of
she has daycare. She has daycare, yeah.
That's where I kind of got it from.
But you want night care.
I care. Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
And okay, so what would that look like? You know, if you were to get night care for your child, what would happen?
Either someone coming to me or
Okay.
me going to some facility or someone.
Would you prefer someone coming to you or?
Someone coming to me.
Okay, so then that could be like Uber for nannies, right? So that's the beginning of that. You have that problem that's solvable, and lots of parents face it. And, you know, I have a friend, she's a single mom, and it seems like, I mean, I'm not, oh gosh, I'm getting into social, but I just observe, I don't hold any beliefs, but I observe she's a single mom. She has a great relationship with the father of her child, but the father has the baby half the time and she has free time half the time. Can you imagine parents, two of them with kids in the house, and you're always with the kid? You don't get a break? So then that would be like a great pitch. Get a break from your kid. Night nannies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have a problem? Yes.
The excessive use of AI.
Ooh. How would you fix it?
Well, maybe these things already exist, but maybe like some kind of control system, control digital system. So like if there's any video, anything creative that pops up that like overuses it, it kind of like controls it. Like say it gets uploaded to YouTube. It could be like an extension.
Like an AI blocker.
Yeah. Or like it could be reported to some sort of service, some sort of moderator saying, this is too much. It needs to go away. This is going to.
Yeah. And you get a report. It's like a security software thing. Is it software or is it because
It could be like a software or an extension, but it could also be like reported if it's too graphic. Oh, because AI has become way too
oh
graphic.
my gosh, there's so
Or-
many graphic things and they're not even like sexual. They're just like weird. Like I see like monster like gremlins on my screen sometimes. Do you guys see that? And then they and then it's like
if it's not scientifically accurate, then there should be warnings about it.
I think we are so far past like that, but I'm gonna hold my thoughts. So the solution would look like a software solution? Okay, and then the problem that it would be solving would be
It would stop like a lot of brainwashing. It would also make clarifications or warnings that like, okay, this doesn't look real. This doesn't this doesn't need to be shown to children.
yeah.
Please don't spread this type of misinformation.
It's like the fact checker on Meta stuff, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's a cool issue. Okay, but that's like the graphic AI piece of things, because I just figured out there was a Microsoft AI that I like logged into today, and it's pretty cool. There's so many solutions for it, but I hear like it's killing our earth. And I'm addicted to it too, you know, like they find a way to get us addicted to these
There's
things.
types of AI that should be avoided.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Here, I'll grab this for you. Thank you. What's your name? Kat. Okay, cool. Mark, right? Okay. Anybody else? Cheyenne and then Cedric. Okay, nice to meet you all. Okay. Okay, we have another topic, another potential complaint.
The cost of healthcare,
Cost of healthcare.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think so. It's too much,
Yeah.
and it's extremely bad, especially in United States.
Yes. There's a lot of bad things in the United States, and healthcare is one of them. So how would you fix it? Like, what would you propose to lessen the cost or make it more accessible?
It's like
to other people?
freelancing the doctors, where a platform where doctors can connect to patient without any organization in between. On
Okay, so cutting out the middleman.
consulting online,
Yeah,
where
okay.
doctors make money,
Like
and
telemed.
the patient saves money.
What prevents them from doing that right now? Is it licensures?
Track with the hospitals, the
Okay.
licensing, and a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm wondering also, like, do they,
Companies.
insurance companies, and then do the doctors have insurance through the organization? Like, would there be a way for the doctors to have insurance outside of their hospitals? I think that's also,
Yes,
yeah. So are you tackling that issue right now?
I think so.
Yeah? Yeah?
No, but
No.
try it.
Okay. Well, if you are, just say it with your chest. You're going to do it because it's a big job, you know, and we're here to help.
Okay.
Yeah. Temple's not going anywhere, guys. I'm alum and they've been in my life every single year ever since. I say yes to everything. I kick myself sometimes because I say yes to so many things, but I've gotten back the benefits tenfold. So if you guys just stay connected, the alums will always help you. There's always a if you're going to stay in Philadelphia and work in Philly, there's always Temple alum on staff. So like just utilize your resources past what you see or past, you know, your degree. Okay. Did we have another? Were you trying to go? Do you have a? Oh, okay. Okay, great. So that was good. Thank you. You guys, I have you until what time? Am I doing good on time? Okay. 40 more minutes. All righty. Okay, wonderful. Oh, I'm not there. I'm here. Okay. Okay, so when picking a problem, pick something that you really care about and that you personally identify with. So the idea over name again, I'm sorry. Cheyenne. So Cheyenne, you really care about kids? The single mothers. Okay. Okay. Oh, great. Okay. So you're personally connected to your issue. I know you love your kids, so we already are going to assume that. And then you with the healthcare thing, I don't know how are you personally connected to healthcare? Have you tried to get healthcare and it was just exorbitant and you're like, what the heck? A homeless woman attacked you. Okay, this is like Maury.
I thought I am positive to something like
You got attacked by a
STDs.
woman?
Yeah, homeless woman
Shit,
inside my building.
man.
Yeah.
Oh,
So she scratched my wrist. So I thought I got affected to some STDs or something. So I ran to Temple of Health. Yeah. But I was scared.
okay,
So
okay, I don't know how you would tell that story at a pitch. Well, you could say I was physically assaulted one day and I sought help at the hospital. Yeah, that works. Okay, so that's a personal connection. So you guys see, and then I know it's AI is an annoyance for you, right? It's an annoyance for all of us. So she's identifying, and but am I passionate enough about it though, or am I just like, oh gosh, like the internet's dragging us all to hell? Like, what is it like?
I do want to start my own company, but like AI is kind of the scariest thing because I don't want it to impact the logo. There's too many logo generators, and I want to do good with graphic design. I don't want to have to. There's a saying that says keep AI out of creative spaces. This is very difficult because there's so many softwares that use it that are only available. It's literally impossible. And like you can't even on DoorDash, I found this restaurant, the banner that they used, it was a bakery, the banner that they used, it was AI. And it was nothing compared to what they had on the menu. So I'm very scared of things like that that could pop up.
I understand. All right, thank you. All right. So I have a business case. This is an artist that I work with. She does large scale murals. She, you know, you can go to Buenos Aires, you can go to Colombia, you can come here to Philadelphia, you can go to New York, you can go all over the world, CDMX. She has murals and paintings there, and she represents, you know, causes. One of the causes she represents was making sure that Latin migrants weren't being detained or fighting for their rights in detention. But she has a company called Fiera Studios. And under Fiera Studios, she has this public art project. And that's the public art project that I work for. She has a business. It's a private business, but she applies to grants to get this business funded, or this project funded, essentially. So it's under her business. It's not a nonprofit. She's doing nonprofit work, essentially. So she's doing, I wish I had some visuals for you guys, but so the way that she makes this happen is she has amazing grant writing skills. So she was able to, in her first round of raising for this project, secure $1.1 million for the project. That is not a typical artist capability, right? Like a normal, I'm not saying normal, let me not categorize people, but typically we think of artists and we think of people who, you know, may just be, you know, whimsically like in love with life and painting beautiful scapes. She chose to take this skill that she had and use it as a driving force for her to make impact in different communities. She has art applications across mediums. That means she's making murals. She's also creating awnings. So in the Italian market, where our market is based, she grew up on that street, the 9th Street Market. She grew up on League Street. And she decided that she wanted to invest her time and her life's work into this market. So she was able to get grants to secure the money for this project that gave her access to studio space, paint, and then also she has relationships that she's used. So she's had a relationship with Mural Arts Project for 25 years. Mural Arts Project has been around for 40 years. So think, you know, she's been a part of the fabric of that organization and has been accessing their resources for years. Our market project is probably like 2 years old, and it's ending next year for our 250th anniversary of Philadelphia. And I was actually connected to her via one of my other nonprofit clients. So she also has the ability to run a sustainable team. So it's not just that passion that drives her forward. It's not just her artistic ability or her unique skills. It's the fact that she can run a sustainable team. She can make sure that she's hiring for all of the things that need to get done, because it's not just painting and then leaving it. You have to distribute the information. You have to be able to show people what you've done. So this is, you know, these are the unique qualifications that she has. And then we have community needs. We had stands in the market that were dilapidated and they were clearly ugly. Like this is an aesthetic project, right? But we learn through this project how aesthetics change your environment and create more economic opportunity for the businesses in the market. And so that was exactly what she did. It led to more traffic for vendors. They needed more traffic. If you guys ever been to the market, there's a north side and a south side of Washington. On the south side is mostly Latin immigrants that have come in and have like filled in that space. They were lacking lighting outside of their stores. So her and her team talked to all the vendors. She talked to them about all of their needs, and she saw the need. So she went to the most dilapidated awnings, like all the carts that had the most dilapidated, and she made sure that she took care of them first. So now she's created a more vibrant environment for them through her grant funding. But also, I don't know how transparent that is. Does all the money go to the project? Is she making enough to sustain her and her family's life? You know, and I think those are questions. She is an artist first and foremost, so I'm sure she takes you know, she takes service projects, like other projects that are going to pay her a few $1,000s. But she has this full project funded by grants because this is her passion project, and she's letting it, and it's not a nonprofit. She definitely still has to pay taxes. But it is a way that she is, Actually, I don't know if she has to pay taxes if she's getting grant funding from public organizations. Okay, but this is a way that she's funding her. So this is an avenue. And my next slide is, okay, she does all that. That's her face. There are multiple ways to skin a cat, right? So you don't, I know I just approached it from the artist perspective. That's because I'm closest to this project and closest to someone who is definitely socially entrepreneurial. That's my roommate. Her name is Akenna. And I was actually writing this in front of her and she was like, don't do that. And so I did it. So this is her quote. Yeah. So there's a next business case, but I couldn't think of anything. So I'm gonna leave this to you all. What's another case that you guys know of somebody putting their passion and having their passion funded sustainably, and they have all the skills to sustain their passion, their passion project, not just their passion, because it's a project, right?
The Eagles owner, Jeffrey Lurie, he has the Eagles Autism Foundation, which I think is one of the biggest autism foundations in the world. And I believe his brother had autism, and he raises a lot of money each year for autism research and things of that nature.
So do you think he raises all that money because he's a good storyteller and he's able to drive funds because it's a personal connection and people want to connect with him?
Yeah, and I think having the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, the Philadelphia Eagles. I forgot about that.
Definitely helped.
I feel like the passion is drawing them. Anyone else? Thank you. What was your name? Jackson. Okay, cool. Thank you. What was your name? I didn't get it. Aditya. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. Yep. Mark?
I have a friend who I actually ended up like doing a business with at one point, but and he had a really cool thing where like they I don't think it survived forever. I don't think it has around anymore, but for like 10 years, him and partner made 2 recording studio spaces in really beautiful spaces too. One in West Philly, one in Germantown. And it was like a place for like young people to come like after school or like and make music, and they had like engineers volunteer their time to go there and help these people, these kids and young people like make music for free and help them put out and so they're doing something constructive and in like a healthy environment. And both spaces were like really like nice, abundant with big windows and like friendly, and he had a lot of like positive energy. So yeah, and he wasn't like the most like savvy kind of guy, so I'm imagining I never met his partner, but I think she must have been much more like logistically savvy to be able to.
He had a partner.
Yeah.
That's good. The thing that concerns me here is that it wasn't sustainable.
It didn't. Yeah, eventually they did not be able to keep getting money for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That reminds me of, what'd you say?
10 years though.
10 years is good. Yeah. 10 years is like all right, I'm sick of this. That reminds me of Rec Phillies, Will Toms and Dave Silver. They started their record it's an agency now, but they started their like studio space, accessible studio space, like just off of campus, like somewhere on 8th Street, I think, in a window factory. And then now they're in the mall, the Galleria. No, it's not called that anymore. The Gallery, the Gallery. So they're in the Gallery now, but they've found ways to sustain, and oftentimes like finding your way to it's bust. Like you either stay small or you have to get really big, and you have to understand how to work with larger organizations like Ticketmaster or WXPN or like, larger brands that are going to bring more reputation to your organization. So I think every business, I just passed my 5 mark. But I'm like, yay, great, I survived. Like, but it's not just a celebration. It's how do we get to the next level, and then how do we sustain that growth to get to the next level? So like, I for the past 5 years have been focusing on my foot in front of me, like just putting my feet in front of me and making the business work and paying my bills and paying my employees and keeping reputation up and keeping marketing and all that stuff. That sometimes you forget to look 3 years ahead or 5 years ahead, and you don't have like the space to do it. So I do recommend slowing down. But you know, you get to a 10-year mark like that, it's okay. What's next, right? And if that doesn't align for both the partners, and I know it's even harder to do it by yourself, but when you have partners, you have to make sure that you can, you know, sustain with each other, because those relationships also, like if you do have a partner, that now becomes like the single most, besides your relationship with God. I'm sorry, this is not all right. All right. They're not going to ask me back next year. Neil's going to be like, Heather mentioned God. But that's your single most important relationship, and relationships change all throughout your life. So picking the right partner is also good. But also like being able to plan and vision and like ask people around you, where do you like asking your neighbor, where do you see me in 2-3 years? Because they could probably see past, you know, you can only see your steps in front of you. And sometimes you need to reach out to help and have like a group of advisors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool thing when you get that group of advisors. Yeah, I feel like in my business, I always I would stay really focused on like short-term maximization, and then I would like make a bunch of money, and then I would be like, oh, okay, this is kind of stressful. I'm just gonna go chill for a while and like travel and stuff.
You're not alone. Yeah, it's the traveling. Oh my gosh, when entrepreneurs want to travel, it's because we're avoiding the hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I already went to Mexico this year. Yeah, yeah.
It's good to be like future focused, and yeah, it's good, but then at some point you gotta like think as like long term, and like you said something cool, with the momentum. You have to like keep that momentum and be able to take the next steps, or sometimes it's not sustainable.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Is this like the music at the Oscars? Okay. Um, You're like, "Oh, my-" Okay. Yeah, you said something, but I think I may have lost it in that little.
And like
Oh, definitely, you guys, like I mean, even now, if there's one single thing that you can do is not to work in a silo. Like most important thing for you not to do right now, especially for this competition, you need to not be working in a silo. Get comfortable talking about your idea. Like pick your most critical asshole friends. Pick them because they're going to tell you the truth about your initiative. Are we supposed to curse in business school? I never used to, but I worked for a really crass CEO and he taught me how to curse in business. So I just never stopped. Oh yeah. So get advisors, like pick your top 3 people, guys, like walk out of here with a list, call them, text them, say, can you be my advisor for this? Because your peers are also very valuable. It's not just a person above you or some professor or some director or whatever, not somewhere that you want to be. It could be the person right next to you who sees exactly what you need to help you like take that leap to actually get into embodying, like being the CEO of this company you guys are creating. Okay. Anything? I'm going to ask questions now. Is that okay? Cool. Do we have any questions? Any insights? Anyone just want to talk? Okay, that's a lot of pressure, huh?
It can also be, I'm happy to answer specific questions about the Ideas and Impact Challenge itself, either of the 2 focus areas, what's coming up, all that sort of stuff. I think we also want to leave space if people aren't comfortable asking in the big group, we can ask. Heather and I can hang around afterwards. But yes, if there are questions, raise your hand. Myself or Jaden or Heather will come around with a mic.
Yes, Shayna. Cheyenne, I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names.
I know you were saying for with your like for our business, like if you want to have it be nonprofit, you should probably try to find a way to like have an aspect of it that is for profit. Are you implementing that within your business?
So I'm completely private. So I'm not a social entrepreneur, although I prefer working with causes. What was the question again?
Is there like an aspect of your business that is for profit?
Yeah, there is. So my business is for profit. So I have social media packages. So companies hire me and then I create, design, implement, like put out, so strategize, design, and then implement. And then we report, what the numbers did after the fact. I do have a mastermind for women who are like mid-career. And that doesn't make me any money. That's literally just like a program that I fund because that's kind of my passion, is like seeing women succeed, all kinds of women, all kinds of ventures. but making sure that they have a place to talk, because lots of entrepreneurs like myself, we operate without a water cooler. So like we're not going into an office, we're in our houses, in our kitchens, wherever, like not really talking. So it's a space for us to get together. So I do have an aspect that is charitable, but it's charitable as it applies to my business. So I give them, we talk about negotiation and marketing and, partnerships, like contracts and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm answering your question or that I even know how to answer your question.
You answered it. You answered it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Sure.
Are you able to like, so if when businesses come to you and if they have like, if they're more like the old school kind of businesses that were operating just on like, for emails and connections and stuff, and they want to like freshly implement social media and they only have very minimal, maybe they don't even have like all the different things, they just have Insta or they just have LinkedIn or something. Do you ever work with people and sort of get their stuff started from the beginning? What's the difference in the effects and experience on your part for the different, like whether someone is like already has it but you need to maximize it, or if they're kind of starting from scratch?
We prefer to work with established brands, but we have established brands. We're currently establishing brands right now. That's like on my favor side. So I do, I have nonprofit pricing, I have private pricing. Like if you're a larger company, you pay more. And then I also have like individuals that I know who are my friends, who are women, especially, that I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to discriminate, obviously. I told you now, everyone in this room, the offer is available, but yeah, I like when people come to me with a brand, with a color palette, with the typeface that they use. I don't usually work with like organizations unless they have the budget to do it, because usually people who are at that stage, they haven't established that, they haven't invested to make that happen yet. Those are like the aesthetic investments that everyone can tell, like, okay, this person invested, versus like the person who doesn't have it, hasn't invested yet. And you can't tell if they have the money to like, so ultimately I have to pay my bills, and the price of eggs is rising. So, did I answer your question? I mean, I do come up with people's stuff all the time. So yes, no, and yes. That was not an answer. That was to be sufficient for a test. Okay. Anyone else? I hope I can answer your question too.
So I just wanted to know, what major problems is your business facing right now?
Okay. I'm going to sit down for this one. Okay, so I just got an intern, a Fox intern, and him and I were discussing financial auditing and creating a separation between me and the finances of my company. So when you start your business, the goal is to get it paying for your expenses, right? So my business pays for my rent, it pays for my groceries, it pays for everything. Last semester, I was a professor and I decided to take a step away from professorship because teaching is hard. You have a lot of stakeholders. Each of your students are your stakeholders, and I see my students as clients. So it felt like a heavy load to carry. So that was my way of separating finance, my personal finances, from my business finance. Now that that's gone away, I'm back to my business supporting all of my personal finances. So my biggest challenge right now is separating myself as a founder from the finances of the company. So what that looks like is us assessing what has money been spent on the past 5 years, what are my behaviors this year. So I'm working with the intern. I'm treating him like a consultant, guys, but he also has his own construction company. So that gives me like a leg up on the intern. Usually interns are like, what do I do? But he knows what he's doing because he's done it, and so I'm excited to work with him because I get another perspective. And again, like that partnership thing, big, like getting someone to get he signed an NDA. He has a privacy waiver signed. So we're like protected. I'm going to put him in all of my financials and I want him to create graphs, and then we're going to discuss like all of it. But really my problem is that I am so in the weeds that I can't see anything, and I know I can't see anything. And so I know that the problem is financial management and like, why do I keep on going over on labor every month, and managing a team. And, we said it with Michelle Angela Ortiz, that's her name, the artist. I don't know if I ever presented it, but we said it with her. She's able to maintain every single month, a team and pay them. And sometimes I have delays. And when I have delays, then I'm feeling that stress because like, I don't want to lose Valentina or Juliana or Jenny. Like, I'm not trying to lose any of my girls, right? And I don't want to lose my reputation. And I know that it comes down to, are you paying people? Are you paying them on time? Do you have enough money for your expenses? And like, are there any checks and balances? And right now the answer is no, there's no checks and balances. And there's about to be. So it's an issue I'm addressing right now. And that's as a maturing company. Thank you. Great question. Period. Anyone else? Aditya. Remember that one.
So when you started, what loopholes did you find with your competitors' company and what you were providing to your clients? How did you get the clients and what special you were doing to get the clients?
Yeah, my clients all are network based. So all my clients I have because I worked on a project with other consultants before and they pulled me on. Because when we think of like a marketing director, we're not necessarily talking about a social media manager. And so oftentimes people want to direct marketing, like the whole like gambit of things, but they don't necessarily want to get into the weeds of social media. So I think like niching down made it very important. Also, I started my company right before COVID, January 2020. And I thought I was going to be in relationship management. I thought I'd be getting portions of like service fees, like introducing, I don't know. It wasn't a proven model. I made up. And then 3 months later, COVID hit. And everybody needed a website. Everybody needed branding. Everybody needed to get products online. So COVID dictated that I would be doing social media. This was not a choice to me. But it was like, what am I obsessed with? Not even a passion. It's like, oh, I have urges. I have to look at my phone. So I knew that would be something that like I would keep coming back to every single day because I've been going back. We all go back. We should all have businesses on social media, guys. I mean, come on. I'm also too old to be on social media without making money, I'm just kidding. No, we invented it. We invented like the wave, millennials. That's what I'm talking about. She's laughing over here. Did I answer the question? Oh, yeah. Also, my student loans stopped during COVID. So it made like having a business, like being able to like thrive and just be creative and not have the pressure for money, like really, really like good. Like, so there were some circumstances where like starting a business, like all of us can think of a way that we have a leg up, like use that leg up. Like if it's like my mom, like I moved back from Philadelphia I was just moving back and then COVID hit and I was like, I moved back for COVID. No, I was moving back to save money. And when you start a business, sometimes your family is like, just stay here and focus on the business because that's a legacy builder. If you do it right and you have the right support around you, like I've never had to borrow an institutional dollar. I've never really pitched because I'm scared. But my family has really shown up for all those bridge loans when I'm like, yo, the invoice is late. And they're like, I got you. But also pay your people back, like keep your reputation clean. I hope that answered the question. Okay, cool. I was very easily able to put a period on that one. I just trail off sometimes. So this is my information, guys. I'm Heather Cotter, so it's Heather and then Cotter. So if you want to look at my personal one, it's private, but I'll welcome you in. We're all Temple. I usually repost Temple alumni stuff. Anything the Fox School needs, I give. So thank you. I hope you will be in touch. Also, free consultations. I do 30-minute consultations. If you guys have ideas of like how to market, I know you guys are getting ready for competition. So if you want to schedule, my Calendly is on my Instagram. So if all of you have Instagram, find it, click the link, not apply, but like sign up for a slot and we'll talk about your idea. Yeah? Cool. Thanks, guys.
Applause for Heather, everyone. Thank you. All right, we are going to, there are the QR code. Oh, wait, hang on. Sorry, before I do that. It was recorded, yep.